Honestly, I don't know what's worse, my current car part addiction or my crippling caffeine addiction. Either way, let's get into this video. Hello ladies and gentlemen of the crew, my name is Chase Simonic and today we're going to be installing this flex fuel kit by Delicious Tuning on the WRX. Let's get into it. We're gonna get the boat shoes, baby! Alright, so as far as our tools go for this one, it's not too bad. Basically we're just going to need a socket set. These are the instructions from Delicious Tuning. Utility knife and needle nose pliers, because you never know when that's going to come in handy. This is the flex fuel kit itself. Shop towels, couple of zip ties, screwdrivers, things like that. And then I always recommend your favorite energy supplement. Not a sponsor, but please be a sponsor. Alright, so first things first on this, we have to release all the fuel pressure in the fuel lines because we're going to be replacing the main lines from over here into over here. I don't know what any of it actually means or does. I'm just following the direction. So to do that, we get the fuel box open and we want to pull this front blue 15 amp fuse. And then we're going to start the car and let the fuel pressure drain for a minute. So if you're looking at the complete fuse box, this right here is the one that you pull. It's in the front right spot, blue 15 amp fuse. Alright, so we're going to start the car and it's going to die, and I think it's going to be a little bit scary. Okay, so the car did die. Little thing I didn't know, pro tip, if you've never done this stuff before, like me, and you're a complete noob, when you actually take the fuel pump out, or when you take the fuse out, go ahead and crack your gas cap open as well. I guess because there's like residual pressure in the tank or something, the car won't die right away unless you do that. There's like some kind of like vapor lock or vacuum or something. So go ahead, open your gas cap, then start the car, and then it'll die. My car ran for like 10 minutes and not dying because I don't know. I don't know how cars work. I don't know science. So crack the fuel pump, it'll die. Car's dead now, so we're just gonna wait like 5-10 minutes for the pressure to go down, and then we'll get into this install. So while we wait for the fuel pressure to get out of the fuel lines, we're just gonna attach our fuel sensor to our bracket here using the supplied hardware. Just gonna be an Allen key and an 8mm nut on the back. So we'll go ahead and do that real quick. Now that we got that bracket installed, we can actually take off the primary fuel line with the clips right here and right here. These two blue clips, just pop them off using a flathead screwdriver. Now I am not going to make the same mistake I made in my fuel pump install video, and I'm going to actually have a shop towel for when this thing sprays gas at me. Only a little bit, we're good. And pop the second one off. Cool. Alright, so all you want to do is take off these two mounting bolts. That's eventually where our flex fuel sensor is going to mount to. Easy peasy. And now hold on to those bolts, we're going to reuse them. After you get the fuel lines kind of off and you get everything sort of set up, we're ready to start mounting some stuff. So let me just, I know the lighting's kind of fucked up because we keep going from light to dark, and I apologize. So here's what I'm just going to show you. Take a look. So we have the flex fuel sensor mounted up right here, just like finger tight, because what we have to do is measure our new fuel line. So I have it clipped in over here, and then I have the new disconnect clip on the where like the OEM one was coming out of. So all we're gonna do is figure out where we need to cut this line and then get that mounted up. So just so you can understand what I did there, I just had it mounted up completely, and then I just put my hose clamp on there so I know where I'm gonna cut it, and then I disconnected the other side, so just to make it a little bit easier, I'll flip the hose clamp on there, and then I can snap both sides in real easy. Whenever you actually cut that, just make sure you get it like relatively straight, and then just slide your hose clamp on here. We'll snap this side into where the OEM one was, tighten this ring around it, and we'll be good to go. Hello. So just real quick, I'm gonna do that on the other side of the sensor as well. Bang. Oh man, I'm getting excited. I am so ready for the boost juice. Let's go. This car is gonna be so sick. I can't wait for these horsepower gains, baby. Okay team, I missed a little bit of an important step when we installed the first section of the fuel line going to the firewall. We have to put in this sensor, fuel pressure sensor, I think is what Nick called it, which I did not do. So it's a simple fix. We haven't done anything else yet, so don't worry about it. Just understand that this is how it goes. So we're coming out of the firewall. Right here, and now we're gonna cut our line wherever, somewhere in here, and put this bad boy in there. So it'll sit in there like this, and then eventually something will plug into there, apparently the fuel pressure sensor wire, and then we're good to go. So I'm just gonna pop this off, cut it real quick, slide this guy on, and we'll be good to go. Sorry about fucking that up. So I made that correction with the sensor, and I got the fuel lines routed correctly again. So I'm just gonna go ahead and pop my fuse back in, start it up, and make sure we don't have any leaks. So this is kind of what it'll look like when it's correct. So you have the clip going into like the firewall, then you have where the sensor hooks up, and then we go into the actual like delicious tuning unit. So we'll just go ahead and throw, camera straps out of here. So we'll just go ahead and throw our fuse back in. Remember, it's the front right slot, 15 amp fuse, and then we'll start the car up and make sure we don't have any leaks. Well, all right, so after you get those lines connected and your sensor all hooked up, good to go with those fuel lines, you can reinsert your fuse and start your car. Make sure you prime the fuel pump, so just turn it on. Don't actually like start the car, don't hit the ignition. Just let it run for a second and turn it off. Do that like a couple of times before you actually just, go full send. And then we can check for leaks. So I've had the car running for a minute, and we look good. So, nothing leaking. Nothing leaking. Everything looks to be healthy. So we're gonna continue on with wiring up the Bluetooth sensor. You see me? Hey! So, by all accounts, this is just like Legos, and we're just gonna be plugging stuff in. So I think I can do that. This should be the easy part, and we should be good to go. The instruction book says to mount this on here right away, but I think it's gonna be easier to kind of route our cables and then mount this. So, get everything kind of separated. These two, your big purple plug and little tiny purple plug, are gonna go over here. So we're gonna route these sort of down on the side here. The small purple plug we can just drop down. That's gonna plug into that fuel sensor that we hooked up on the fuel line. This one we can route between the old and the new guy, or maybe just go all the way down with it too. Yeah, that's good. clicks in there. So the longer of the cables, we actually want to route in front of the wire, or in front of the battery box, under your washer fluid cap. And then we're going to take off this little bolt that holds on the radiator mount and wire it under that so it gets real clean across the front here so you don't have wires everywhere. There we go. Last clip. We did it. We did it. Ah! I got everything wired up. Here's how it goes. Ignore the tools. So, we got our main unit. 2 wires go this way around the box. One clips into our fuel pressure sensor. The other one clips into our actual flex fuel tuning kit. Other 2 wires. One is longer than the other. The really long one comes all the way around, gets up underneath here. That's what we saw us taking this bolt off. You can look at that baby tuck. You can't even see it. Under the air box, out over here. We're gonna zip tie this up, so don't worry about that. Just pull it taut so you don't get anything caught in your fans. And then it plugs in right here, MAF sensor. The shorter one on the right side will wire behind your box, under all this noise, and clip in. Can I get you back there? Right there. I'm not sure what that's for, but that's where it goes. Now we're ready to start the car and see if we have power and try it all out. I would say honestly on this one, not bad install at all. Like I did it. I did it. Me, ha. So yeah, you guys can do this one. This one's simple. Make sure though, if you're just watching this video, you also need an upgraded fuel pump that's good for ethanol. So you can watch my DW install up here, DW300C fuel pump, bing. So that'll link, and there'll also be a link in the description to that. If you want these parts or any other sweet Subaru parts, or I think he does other tuner brands too, New Provisions Racing, and hit up Nick. I'll have links to the website and to his Facebook in the description. So hit him up, tell him Chase sent you. It's not sponsored or anything, but he's a cool dude and he's supported me a lot. He's got awesome prices, awesome shipping, awesome customer service. He responds to me super quick whenever I have problems, and I have a lot of problems. So shout out to Nick, thank you so much. Get these parts, get them installed. Alright, so guys, I realized I told you about the app and then never actually showed you how it works. So this is the Delicious Tuning app right down here. You get it from the App Store or Google Play. So if you open that, right now the car's on. You go to Devices. It'll pop up right here, whatever your Bluetooth Delicious Tuning Kit is. You can get that, so you just select that right there, and then hit Live Data. So we're on still on 93 octane fuel, so it's less than 10% ethanol. So that's what this number is, 9% ethanol right now. And this is actually your fuel pressure, so that's kind of cool to know too. And it's low because the car isn't actually running. Normally that'll be up around like 52. So this is just like the residual pressure that's in the lines. That's kind of neat. That's kind of cool information to have. You can get it right on your phone, so it's kind of neat when you're actually on a flex fuel kit, or flex fuel tune rather, so you can figure out you know, what blend you're running, and you can mix more easily for that. So that is pretty neat. This is one advantage of the Delicious Tuning Kit over some of the competitors, and part of the reason I chose it. So if you like that, maybe consider this kit. It's pretty sweet. All right, ladies and gentlemen of the crew. So I just took the car around, for a little drive just to make sure that we still don't have anything leaking, everything's good to go, and everything checks out. So we completed the install. We did it. So basically now what we have left to do is get tuned for flex fuel, because right now we're still only able to run on 93 octane until we actually get tuned. But then we should be making like really good power. For those of you guys aren't aware, the FA20 motors on flex fuel make like
and billions and billions and billions and billions
over 325 horsepower, no problem. So before we actually get tuned, it's going to be about a 2 to 3 week wait, just because the tuner I'm going with has a little bit of a backlog. And also I have a little bit of stuff I need to do. We're also going to do TGV and EGR deletes on the car before we get tuned, as well as the boost control solenoid, just because they were recommended to me by the tuner, just to kind of do it all at once. But as far as flex fuel goes, we are good to go. We got the fuel pump, we got the flex fuel kit. We're just waiting for the tune now, and we're going to be rocking and rolling. So this build is coming along super good. Thank you all for supporting so far. I know you guys will continue to watch and continue to comment, so keep up the good work. Thanks so much for watching, and I will see you on the next one. Bye.